Greetings, everybody. Welcome to this week's Focus Forum. Two former internationals with us, Kevin Kilbane and Trevor Sinclair. Loads of international football qualifying for Euro 2016 around at the moment. I thought we'd talk to you a little bit about not the perils, but I suppose the enjoyment as well of international travel. And Trevor, we'll start by taking you back to, I don't know whether it was a low point or a high point of your career, but you made the England squad for the 2002 World Cup. You were 24th man in 23. Explain to us, remind us of what happened.
Well, yeah, I was that such man, and I spoke to Adam Crozier and I said, listen, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'm waiting for someone to get injured, so can you let me go back, train at Chedwell Heath, which is the West Ham training ground. I'll keep fit, and if anyone gets injured and you want to get me back out, we'll do that. So I went back, you know, I had a nice merry time on the plane with Adrian Bevington. Got home, recharged the batteries, you know, spent some time with the wife, and then obviously by the time I got home, Danny Murphy was injured, so I had to fly back out there.
So
but
literally straight back out.
Yeah. So,
and you made 4 appearances in that World Cup.
Yeah, I missed the first game against Sweden. I think we drew that 2-2, and then about 15 minutes into the Argentina game, Owen Hargreaves got injured, and Steve McLaren said, Trev, come here. And I was like, I couldn't hear because the atmosphere was amazing. And I was like, I was looking behind me. Everyone was ill. I mean, it was like so many players were injured and ill, and I got the opportunity, and yeah, I feel like I pretty much took it.
And what about you, Kevin? I mean, I know you've not been through that. Not many players have been through that sort of experience. Yeah. But in terms of that, how is international travel with your teammates? That you may see some of them with the teams that you play week in, week out, but it's obviously a very different dynamic when you get together for your country.
Yeah, well, I won't talk about the incident around 2002 World Cup we had with Roy and Saipan and everything, so I'll leave that one out at all. But I mean, I think what we had probably the most incredible journey we had was a Euro 2000 playoff in Turkey. We had a double header against Turkey, so we played them first of all in Dublin. Then we had an amazing, an immense journey to get out to Turkey. We played in Bursa, a small city in Turkey. We had a 4-hour flight out to Istanbul. Then we had a 2-hour coach ride to a ferry. We had to get a ferry, then an hour and a half it was to a certain port. I can't remember the port it was. Then we had another hour and a half journey. Now that was typical Irish travel in those days. That's how it was, and that's what we had to live with. And we ended up drawing the game 0-0. We went out and away goals for the tie against Turkey. But I'd like to think that journey cost us. So hopefully there's one or two things that was learnt from it. Yeah.
The Republic of Ireland played Georgia in the start of their qualifying campaign, and we dug this picture out from when I think a game against Georgia that you played in. Can you remember this when you were in the old Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah,
you broke your cheekbone?
I broke my cheekbone the week before. Yeah, fractured my cheekbone playing against Hull for Wigan actually the week before, and yeah, I had an operation on the Sunday and I played on the following Saturday. Yeah, that was we played in Georgia. In Germany against Georgia. Yeah, because it was moved for political reasons at that time.
And you got rave reviews for that game. So did you consider?
I always got rave reviews. Didn't I? Come on.
Did you not consider wearing the mask even once it had all healed up? No, superstitious in football as well.
Yeah, it was annoying when you used to wear it though, because I think what the specialist said to me, there was no real problem if I played without it, but if I'd took any sort of contact on it, it would have just caved in again on me like it did originally. So I just had to be careful with it. Yeah.
Trevor, there's often a lot of talk, isn't it, about what it's like when you get together with an international side. In the South African World Cup with Fabio Capello in charge, there were complaints that players were not able to get out there and do anything, and they were bored during the World Cup. How important is it, if you want to have a successful national side, that you are able to enjoy that time away and all the different personalities and the different people that are there are able to feel comfortable and at home and do their best when they actually get out there on the pitch?
Hugely important. I mean, you know, we were talking earlier, and I went home and had a couple of days at home. I did actually recharge the batteries and just get away from it all. And obviously you can't do that when you're in a camp away from home and you're away for a month, 6 weeks. It's a long time. And I always used to think that when I look at the lads, they look miserable and they're enclosed in this hotel. They've got no outlet. When we went to the World Cup, I had a pal who lived whose wife lived in Japan, and he came over. I got a pass. I went out and I went to a temple, had a wish, and blah blah blah, and just got away from it all. And I think if you're not doing things like that, it's hard for England, though. I think because if you look at some of the other teams, and they might have a beer or they might have a little bit of time to relax. I think if you did that with England, we might have more than one beer. That's the problem. But it's a huge thing. I think you've got to.
Making Trevor's point there, said when you see England training and in and around the squad, they don't look happy. No. What I've seen, and generally, it doesn't look like it's a happy squad because of the intense pressure that's put on them and the lack of time to get away from each other, just to maybe have, like you're saying, have half an hour, a couple of hours a day, whatever it is.
There's talk that England might even trial the Belgian model, where they have the fans in on the training session and sort of a bit more. Hold on a bit. What's that? You say that's a step too far?
I'm not sure about that. I think they need to get away from it a little bit, though. I mean, they're training every day, and then it's just the monotonous of the set meals. You know, you're going for breakfast together, then you'll train, and then you'll go for lunch, and it's the same food. It's really healthy, and I think sometimes you just need to get away from it and go into the city and, you know, watch a bit of telly or watch a bit of sport on TV and just get away from it all. But it's a difficult one, like I say. You give some English players an inch and they'll take a yard, so you've got to be careful how you do it. I think they should get a chaperone. Each player should have a chaperone.
You two are available. You can look after them.
That'd be all right.
Two respectable gentlemen.
I think they should do something like that.